Mabuhay, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. The topic or title of this video is Weighing Out What Matters Most in Marriage to a Filipina. Please subscribe here. I've got over 1,700 videos. Could use more subscribers. My channel is mostly about how to be married to a woman from the Philippines. It goes from starting at the beginning, from your first on-camera video call to getting married and then getting her over here. We live here in the United States. I've been married since 2015. Now here's a comment I like from someone on recent YouTube video that was made on a video titled "Money is a Man's Worth and Purity is a Woman's Worth." And his comment is this: so a man should be providing financially, which I agree with, and have integrity, also agree with, while the woman should have integrity, and they agree. And there exists an imbalance here in what is being offered, unless her threshold for worthwhile integrity is as much higher than the value of his financial contributions to the relationship. In other words, getting with a broke guy who has integrity should, for equality's sake, be just as valuable as a woman with integrity who is not going to be expected to provide, unless her integrity is valued higher than his, in which case the financial difference is already accounted for. So I responded to him that I think I understood what he was saying, but that it rarely operates that way in life. I responded with, we want the best of everything with a spouse, but provincial Filipinas who have no money or of their own are not going to provide monetarily in a marriage unless she's in the West working, and she would have to want to do that. It may or may not be what she's looking for. And my thoughts here were this imbalance, and I recognize what he's saying. Yeah, it seems a little bit, imbalanced. And this imbalance, they say, can be, or I said, can be offset if a man considers himself blessed to be able to have sex and companionship in marriage, which in my personal estimation would be priceless. As a Christian, I cannot do that as a single person, so it's not an option. The only way for me would be, and was, to get married. So the Bible also says, talks about a virtuous woman, and that her worth or price is far above rubies, which you could consider anything financial. So yeah, I know on the surface it doesn't feel right that you marry a woman who doesn't have any money, and the husband is paying for everything, and if she doesn't get a job, is going to be paying for most everything, and her family too. You could say, well, it just doesn't balance out. What does? I mean, what really ever balances out? So I try to balance it out with just the way I look at it. With me having my wife around, yeah, I've spent, I wouldn't say spent, I'd say used quite a bit of money, as has my wife, to help family in the Philippines. We have several homes built over there, among other things. And, that's money that I spent. I don't regret it. I did it willingly, and it helps a lot of people out there. And I mean, what can my wife do? I mean, if she didn't work, she couldn't be providing what she is now financially, which is a good thing, but that was always the plan, that she was going to work. But even if I gave, half of everything I own to help, would that mean that somehow she has to find some near impossible superhuman thing to do for the rest of her life to pay me back? Which is another kind of tangent on this. You really can't, nothing should be 50-50, I don't think, in a relationship. It never exactly is, and you shouldn't be, feeling like you got to pay back your spouse for something they did. I think you just go after it as hard as you can, be the best husband that you can be, most likely then she will be the best wife that she can be as she responds to the husband. So I like this comment because I have kind of thought about this. You know, how do men feel about everything balancing out? They spend so much money and they make a sacrifice there, a sacrifice to go see her, a sacrifice to do all the paperwork, and sacrifice to fly her over to his country. And, you know, what does she have to do for that? Well, hopefully she'll just be a good wife, and he'll realize that the things he went to those lengths to get, which is a wife from the Philippines, you know, has to be enough. It has to be reward enough, you know, for what she brings to the table every day. And like I said, intimacy and companionship, you know, partner in life, well, you really can't put a value on that. So I feel like I understand what Jason is saying here, but there's very little, what can she do? You know, and integrity is nice too, but we all want women with integrity. So I think you just have to think of the reasons why you would marry somebody from the Philippines, and then just accept your love beyond the sea.